welcome to my house and welcome to my channel. I'm Laura Cepeda and today I'm going to give you the first class of how you can learn how to knit with needles, okay? I will show you 5 different ways that you can cast on your stitches. These are the basic steps that you need to know if you want to start knitting, okay? So please stay tuned. In the coming videos I will give you more steps and then you can create your own projects. But first, let's make the first steps, okay? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe. To buy all the materials that I use in all my videos, you can visit my online store www.lauracepeda.es and we will send it right to your house. Well, remember, in this video I will show you 5 different ways of how you can cast on your stitches using your needles. In this case, this is the first way. I have used this technique in previous videos. This is the technique that I always use, and to me this is the easier. First, we are going to take the stitch, okay? It's like this. We take the thread with our hand and we are going to use the other hand to help us to make a kind of a loop. You see, I will make it again. So like this, we are going to take it and we are going to bring them through the needle. We are going to make a knot, and now using the other needle we are going to insert the needle, take the stitch, take the thread, we are going to place it in the back and bring them through the front, and we are going to pull, and we are going to take it in the other needle. You see, with this technique I promise you that you won't waste any material. You see, again I insert the needle into the loop, into the last loop that we made. We yarn over, we bring them through, and then we bring the stitch into the needle again. And like this is how we are going to cast on as many stitches as we need. I like this technique a lot because with this you will have a perfect edge, you see, and all the loops will be at the same distance. I highly recommend this technique. Once you know how to make it, it will be easier for you. You will see it's very fast and very easy. Well, I hope that you practice, and this is the first way that you can cast on your stitches using both needles. Well, this is the second way. Also, it's very easy. You will see. We will use only one needle and we will use our hand to help us to cast on, okay? So we will start making the first loop like this. We are going to insert a loop into the needle and we are going to make with the thread that we have here a kind of E, you see? And then this loop we are going to insert it into the needle and we are going to pull. I will repeat. So you see how it is? You see how I twist? Well, then we are going to introduce into the needle, and again we are going to repeat. I mostly use this technique when you have already your project and you are using one needle with the rest of your stitches, and then the instruction says that you need to increase some stitches, so you are going to use the other needle to increase the stitches that you need. For example, this is very common when you are making the sleeves. And also, to me, it's one of the easiest way. Also, you can make it if you are going to start your project. It's not necessary when you are going to increase stitches, okay? I will show you the different ways and you will choose at the end which technique and which way it's easier for you, and then you can practice and you will decide which one you are going to use. Remember that the first way I teach you, it's the way I always use and with the way I learn how to knit. But well, you can choose your own technique and you can start making your own projects. Remember that this is just the beginning. Well, this is the third way. In this way we are going to use our hook. Okay, you will see one needle, and with our hook and with the thread we are going to start making a loop. Remember, this is always the first stitch. We are going to insert it into a hook. We are going to make a chain, and then this chain we are going to insert it into the needle. Now, without taking away the hook, we are going to leave it there. We are going to try to make kind of chains. You see, while we make this, try to pull a little bit, and then we will bring them through. So we are going to make a chain and bring into the needle again. With this technique, we will have a different edge, it will have a different ending. So as I told you at the end, you will decide which is your favorite and which one is the best according to your project. Well, I like this technique also because I think it's very easy, and I like that you kind of mix both techniques using the hook and casting on using the needles. Also, if you feel that using both needles it's a little bit difficult when you are starting to learn, well, I think that this technique is also a good idea, and with this you will kind of have a better control of the yarn, okay? So also with this technique you won't have any waste. Look how nice the end looks, and like how the edge is looking, right? Well, you can practice, and this was the third way. Well, this is the fourth technique, and in this technique we are going to use both of the needles, okay? You will see I found this technique very interesting, and I found this way also very classic and old too. I remember that I used to watch my grandma casting on the stitches also like this. So look at this, we are going to start with a loop, and we are going to start like the first way, remember? But now look at this, we are going to insert the needle between the two stitches, and we are going to turn over, and we are going to bring them through, and we are going to place it in front. Then again we are going to insert the needle between the last two stitches that we have, and then we are going to take this stitch and we are going to place it in front, and again we are going to repeat. Also, I like this technique because with this technique you won't waste any material, and I found it very interesting too. And if you're learning how to knit, well, I think that you should know all the different ways that are out there, and you can choose the best for you, okay? As you see, it has a different ending, a different edge, and I like it too. You will see that once you practice and once you learn all the different ways, it will be easier for you to see which is the way that the person used to begin the project, okay? So I think that it's very important too to know that all the different ways that I told you, it's part of this knitting culture. So I think that it's very interesting that if you are learning, well, you already know all the different ways. Well, I will continue so you can see how it is, okay? Well, this is the fifth and last technique, and this technique is also one of my favorites because I remember that this was the most common used in the past. As I told you, I saw many times my grandma and my mom knitting, and they also use this technique very often. So I will show you. You are going to use the needles and the thread, and we are going to leave a long thread. And with this technique you need to calculate how many threads you will need according to the stitches that you are going to cast on. So this is the secret of this technique. But the disadvantage that I see with this technique is that sometimes you waste too much material, or in the other hand, you need more material that you feel that you didn't need, right? So this technique is, well, not one of my favorites, but I feel that I needed to show you because you need to know all the different techniques. Well, once you have the thread that you need, you are going to make a loop. Remember that this is always the first step. So I suggest that you make a sample with 30 centimeters and you will see how many stitches you can on with that 30 centimeters, so you can take it as a reference, okay? And we are going to place it like this, okay? The thread that we have, we are going to place it in one side, and the thread of our skein of yarn will go in the other side. So we are going to insert the needle in the loop. It is important that the loop goes in the right needle with the right hand, so the short thread will go facing to us and the long thread will face to the other side. And look, I'm going to use the hand that I have free. I'm going to place this finger between the threads, and then with the other fingers that I have left, I'm going to close, and I'm going to use it as a reference, okay? Then I'm going to pull, and with the thumb I will take the rest of the thread. I will repeat again the movement so you can see exactly how I place my fingers, and as I told you, with the thumb I will take the thread and I'm going to pull it and take the thread of the thumb like this. I'm going to place a hook in the bottom, and then the other thread that I have in the other finger, I'm going to make a loop again and again. Look at this, the finger goes like this, okay? It's important how we place the needles and how we place the threads. So again, we are going to repeat. As you see, we take the thread in one side and we finish in the other side, taking the loop. And if you see in this technique, we are only using the needles and our hand. I don't remember if I told you in the beginning that we were going to use both needles. I don't remember exactly. If I said so, so sorry. But I confused. We only use our hand and our needles. I treasure this technique a lot because, as I told you, this technique is one of the most common techniques used by my mom and by my grandma. So when I make this, I remember a lot of experiences and memories that I have with them. Also, some people place the thumb in different, but to me this is the easier. You can try it other way. I will show you how it's the other way. You see, it's like this, okay? But some people do it like this. So, but I feel that with this you make more pressure and you feel more confident, you know, to take both threads. Before I choose the first way, the first technique that I teach you, my favorite, I use this technique a lot and I like it, but then I discovered that with this material you may waste material. Sorry, with this technique you may waste material, or sometimes it's not enough. Well, at the end, when you have all the stitches that you need, you are going to make a knot, and now you are ready to start. Remember that in the next video I will show you the next steps and the basic stitches that you can create using the needles. Well, this was the fifth way. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed making these 5 techniques with me. As I told you in the coming videos, I will continue sharing the basic steps and all the things that you need to know if you want to start knitting, okay? Well, before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, don't forget to leave me a comment, and don't forget to give me a like if you liked this video. Thank you and see you.